Hello, I'm Jasmine Olson, and I really wanted to expand on the impact that Hyacinth had on me as a playwright and as a writer in general, and the impact it had on the community that it was performed by and performed for. So, first and foremost, I started writing plays when I was a freshman. I had just joined my theater program, and I had this big ambition, this whole plan that I was going to work my way up to writing our big fall competition show my senior year. Um, and so my theater teacher, Ian Sullivan, whom we all called Sully, he was beloved to all of us. Truly, he was like a father to every single person in that program. And he had always taught with his heart first. He only ever taught with his heart. And that inspired me to write from mine. Um, so I figured that the show that I would write should have an impact on everyone's heart. And I felt like grief was a good topic to reach everyone that way. Um, so I started writing, I started crafting a plot, but it really didn't feel right. And I had been blocked on it for so long. I started writing it my junior year, and then senior year was closely approaching, and I still didn't have a great product. It was only half finished. Um, and that's when I realized that I wasn't writing from my heart because I hadn't experienced enough grief to be able to base such a big show off of. And that was when Sully left. He had to move away. And that was a really big moment for not just me, but for everyone in that program. I mean, there were dozens and dozens of us. A big, big part of our lives was lost. Um, and I I thought that we wouldn't be able to do my show Hyacinth anymore because he had gone away. Um, so I was sitting by my computer that summer that he left, and I realized that there was so much that I hadn't processed, and I just began to write Hyacinth, and it changed drastically from its original to the final product. Um, but I wrote the grief that I was feeling when Sully left, and it became something that I'm much more proud of than the original version. So right off the bat, I learned that I had to write from the heart. I had to stay true to myself, otherwise the writing would feel disingenuous. It would feel wrong. Um, and so since then, I've vowed never to try to write something that I didn't understand emotionally or even topic wise. So that was a very valuable lesson for me. So then the school year picks up its senior year, and our new teacher comes in. She works very hard, really hard, but there's just no filling the hole that Sylvie left for us. And we had all kind of made a silent promise to him that we were going to pick up this program and we were going to keep his legacy going no matter what. We owed it to him, really. And so we start doing new curriculum stuff, and it feels very, everything's changing. It's a new teacher. And it definitely hurts that some traditions are going away. And I was worried, like I said, that we wouldn't get to do the show, but because our teacher was so new, she didn't know what our regional competition was. It's called the North Carolina Theater Conference. Or NCTC for short. And so she didn't know what it was. So we ended up, but she wanted to support us. She wanted to do the show. So we ended up getting to do my show anyway, just to make it easier on her to pick what show was going to go. And so since we already had a script, we ended up doing it. And that was a really great moment for me because then I got to step in and be a leader for my peers and really try to bring this program back up to what we wanted to see that year. And so we start working, and there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of crying, a lot of hours coming early, working on the set. It's much lower budget than what we've been used to, but we really put our souls into all of this. And then I start talking to my cast, and that's really when I start realizing that the show is definitely having the right impact. My three leads especially had a big connection to the show. One of my leads, whose character was to follow another character along, She had recently just lost her godbrother, who she confessed to me that she always used to imagine following her around, and that made her feel safe. And the show really helped her understand a lot of the emotions that she felt after he had passed. And my female lead, though she didn't lose anyone particularly, she had really lost a piece of herself that year, and she felt like the show was proof that things will get better. And my male lead, who plays a very sick character, his family had gone through a lot of medical issues, so he had a lot of grief to process through the show as well. And then we finally get to our preview of the performance, which is done in the community theater. And we put on the show, and it's not our greatest run, but right afterwards we come off the stage. I walk down the stairs from backstage, and I'm flooded by all these people, all these peers in the community, and they rush up to me and shake my hand, and some of them start telling me how they lost their family members or lost teachers like we did, and there were other aspiring authors there like me, who wanted to know how I'd written the show. And it was just it was a moment where I decided that I had finally succeeded in what I wanted to do with my writing. So it was really powerful for me. And then we get to competition, and we just pour our hearts and souls into it. But we end up not being able to win that year. When we had, with Sully, we had won 3 years in a row. So it really, really just hurt to not be able to fulfill our promise to him. But I think the reaction we got from the audience was really what made it feel like a win for me. I think a lot of the shows that we watch today, a lot of movies, feel like they're just a cash grab, or they feel like they're just made for us to simply consume but not feel. And a lot of art that we consume too, you just don't know when it's being made by a real human or whether it's just an AI generated image. And there's so many people who are losing the passion for writing, who are losing interest in creativity. And I really, really loved the connection that I was able to make with the community. Every show that we attended afterward, one of the leads and I went to go see a show at a local church, and the directors recognized us and just told us thank you for the show that we did. So that kind of impact and unity that you could create in people, no matter what they've experienced, they could relate to the show. And I just really, really want to pursue that kind of connection with everyone through media from the heart. As long as I live, that's exactly what I want to do. So I hope that I can instill a new passion for writing in people through what I create, as I continue my education. So Hyacinth was a wholly emboldening and just really, really good learning experience for me. I had so much fun creating a deep piece with all of my peers, and getting to lead them through such an emotional experience, but then looking out at the audience and seeing them in tears, and just really appreciating what we had done together was one of the best times in my life. So I look forward to taking my writing and using what I learned from writing from my heart to create more impactful pieces in the future to connect the people of our world. So thank you.